PBS Building Collapses. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because, well, the Construction Apocalypse playlist is getting another entry with PBS buildings collapsing. I can't imagine anyone is at all surprised. Sadly, this is an ongoing issue we're going to face here in the housing sector in Australia right now. So, this is from news.com, written by Alex Turner-Cohen. Multiple developments and homes in jeopardy as PBS building goes into administration. Less than 24 hours after a major building company closed up its website and abandoned construction sites, it has called in the administrators. Now, the problem is you're going to have the people who've paid money to get their houses built. They're going to be screwed. You've also got subbies who've done work that are not going to get paid. On Tuesday afternoon, PBS Building, a multi-million-dollar firm which does a mix of commercial and residential projects across Queensland, New South Wales and the ACT, officially collapsed. Jonathan Colburn, Richard Stone and Mitchell Herriot from insolvency firm RSM Australian Partners has been appointed as joint administrators. They have been appointed across all of PBS's building entities, including its New South Wales, Queensland and ACT companies, as well as two other parent companies. So it's all going under. Oh boy. The collapse has left 180 staff across all three states without a job, while 80 residential and commercial projects are also up in the air. From the preliminary investigation, there are more than 1,000 secured and unsecured creditors who are owed more than $25 million. For several days, the PBS building website has shown an error message. But just after 2 p.m. on Tuesday, the website switched to display its status as being in voluntary administration. In a statement, PBS Building said its board of directors and founder, Ian Cutter, had made the incredibly difficult decision to hand the company over to insolvency experts. Now, the issue with this is this isn't an overnight decision. This has been going on for some time. I would be shocked if we don't find out that this has been going on for some time. And this is a mess, guys. This is a terrible mess. This has been a gut-wrenching decision that we know will impact many lives and livelihoods. However, after months of intense efforts behind the scenes, in the end, the only responsible course of action available. Now, I feel really sorry for the bloody founders and people who build these businesses up, and probably through no fault of their own. It just all slowly collapses. Remember when they changed the rules to allow people to trade while insolvent? Now, I wonder if that was the seed that caused the damage that just, okay, this project's a loss, but we'll make it back on the next one. Oh, we didn't make it back on the next one. We'll get ahead on the next one, on the next one, on the next one. You're kicking the can down the road. But unlike the government, you don't have a whole nation of taxpayers to allow you that magic superpower. And sadly, this is what happens. The company claimed it had not abandoned building sites, but has instead secured them with the express purpose of not incurring any further expenses. Its failure was blamed on the perfect storm of factors, including rising costs of materials, fixed price contracts, labour and material shortages, and extreme weather events. This has proven an insurmountable challenge. This is because the entire residential construction sector was overheated due to government intervention. And I've said it on many episodes. Everyone, let's see should I bring that up here just to remind everyone about the government coming to the rescue. Remember when they juiced the market, the RBA cash rate? Sure, that's not the government, but that was insanely low. But you can see here in the bottom right of the slide, see the light blue line, how that's skyrocketed up? That's the home builder impact. And it's not like any of us got a great deal. We didn't get extra discounts on our houses because we got the free money handouts. No. It overheated the market. It drove up the cost of everything. And you're seeing all these builders now go under, left, right, and center. This is the problem when you artificially stimulate a sector of the economy. There's consequences. And these are serious consequences. We can't forget, but I think we're going to. I don't think we're going to learn the lessons that we need to learn. Ensuring our employees receive their entitlements in full has been a priority for the board. They said that As of March 6th, the firm's last day in operation, all employees' entitlements have been paid out in full. The building company has been operating for 33 years before its collapse. 33 years, that's a long time. Jonathan Colbrand said in a statement, all work on these sites ceased immediately prior to the appointment of the administrators, and it is not clear at this stage whether work will recommence. If works do not recommence, the operations of the PBS construction companies will progressively be shut down and sites handed over to customers. Both the administrators and builders warn that they would not be the last building company to come undone amid the current tough market conditions. We won't be the last construction company to buckle under the weight of a broken industry, and the way of doing business needs urgent reform, PBS Building warned. It comes as early on Tuesday, news.com.au reported on a Queensland family getting nervous about what their builder's sudden vanishing act would mean for their $640,000 half-built townhouse. Since Monday, multiple building sites have been shuttered. The tradesmen have been spotted collecting their tools while the company's website and phone lines are down. Now, Michael, who preferred not to use his last name, is concerned about what it will mean for the prospect of his 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom townhouse ever being built. I've literally been watching the development every day, Michael, 44, told news.com.au. The dad of 2 lives across the development, known as the Curl, in Bokarana Beach along the Sunshine Coast. But on Saturday, he grew alarmed when security gate guards showed up on site. On Monday, he witnessed tradies visiting the construction zone to collect their tools. I was going to talk to some of the workers yesterday when they were packing up, but they looked angry, he said. I'm guessing they're concerned about not getting paid, which is fair enough. Yeah, that's the problem. Michael and his wife signed a land and build package with developer Stockland in mid-2020 and forked out a $38,000 deposit for building works. At first, local construction company B.A. Murphy was contracted to build the townhouse, an apartment slated for the Curl development before the company collapsed in liquidation. PBS Building were then brought onto the project, but they've now collapsed too. Hopefully third time is lucky for us. Oh, bloody hell. Oh. And you know what? They're going to just stimulate the housing. So next time, the government, regardless of which of the 2 major parties you vote in, they're going to stimulate the housing market to get the economy going again because it's so effective. A bit of damage? Don't worry. Just stimulate. Are we ever going to get small government, less intervention politicians in Australia? Why don't we give that a shot? Just give it a try for a decade. Just 10 years. Give it a shot, see what happens. Now the dad has terrified the developer, evoking a sunset clause, which can happen when the development takes longer than expected, with a termination clause in the contract. With 2 builders already involved in the project, it's possible building costs could blow out and the development could be delayed. I don't know what's going to happen with the sunset clause, he said. That sunset clause is going to pass, and the capital growth on these properties has gone up a lot. It could mean the developer could refund everyone their money, but by then home prices have gone up so much the young family are priced out of the market. Well. What's this? This is, okay, an email about Curl. As we're progressing through the first quarter of 2023, new milestones continue to be reached. Okay, there you go. PBS Building's problems seem to have come out of the blue, with Stockland emailing customers on Friday over the Curl with positive news. Yeah, no, it didn't come out of the blue. It probably came out of the blue to the customers, but the board has obviously been aware of this. Construction is back in full swing for the year, with our building partners working hard to bring your future home to life. Yep. Since the news broke of PBS Building being on shaky ground on Monday, Michael said he's had radio silence from his developer. The security guards are not saying much, and Stockland hasn't given us an update. Yeah, probably because they don't know yet. Probably because they don't. It's been, one day? The project is meant to be completed in the first half of next year, so they've got to get a new builder. Then that builder has to take responsibility for everything that's gone on there. This is just a nightmare. So what else are we looking at here? While news.com.au called PBS Building during business hours on Mondays, went to voicemail, of course. Meanwhile, news.com.au understands a plumber in Canberra could be owed as much as $250,000 from PBS. $250,000. That's a big chunk of money for a small business. It's a huge chunk of money. It's a lot of stress. It is a lot of stress. When you've done the work, you've got invoices outstanding, and people don't pay you, or they're late, or this happens. I'm just thinking back to we've only had 2 people stiff us in all of our years of business, which isn't too bad. But we've had some really, really drag out the payments, and that can get stressful. Several mega projects contracted to PBS elsewhere in Queensland and in the ACT are now in jeopardy, including a massive $53 million development known as the Melrose Project in the Canberra suburb of Woodin, as well as a 19-story development called Shoreline in Surfers Paradise and a townhouse project in Helensvale. Incoming construction, forestry, maritime, CFMEU, PBS was teetering on the edge of ruin. Well, yeah. ASX documents obtained by news.com.au show that in October last year, when PBS lodged its annual report, it was treading a very fine line of staying profitable. According to the filing, PBS had $27.5 million worth of assets as at the end of the last financial year, meanwhile $23.8 million in liabilities. The embattled firm had lost money 2 years in a row, but the amount got considerably bigger in 2022. Last financial year, ending in June 30, PBS racked up losses totaling $4.3 million. The year before, it had a comprehensive loss of $558,000. Had a revenue of $90.8 million last year. So, news.com.au also obtained a report from Private Creditor Watch, which showed that PBS had defaulted on a $33,000 loan. Lindsay Civil, an electricity supplier near the Sydney suburb of Campbelltown, lodged the record of default in April last year with the money due in March. It's understood PBS has since paid back the debt. Creditor Watch classified PBS as high risk over the late payment. The firm has an average of $173,000 in overdue payments compared to the industry average of $16,000. That's the industry. The bloody construction industry. I remember talking to a lawyer and I was bitching about how, well, this is back when I had, I think, $100,000 outstanding that was paid late from one client. And I was just bitching and moaning about it and saying, they'd be telling me, yeah, that's the construction industry. That's the construction. This is the industry we're in. It's such bullshit. It really is such bullshit. At least that's why now the clients I'm working with, they pay on time. I've gotten much pickier. I've gotten smaller so I can afford to be pickier. Oh boy. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you can relate. On average, PBS is taking 34 days to pay debts, alarmingly well above the industry average of just 6 days. What's this 6 days? I've got 45-day terms for some people. See, I'm glad I'm an architect. My costs are very low. I'd hate to be a bloody subby and paying for stuff. It also said the firm deals with around 25 lines of trade. It comes as the entire building industry is in crisis because of supply chain disruptions, skilled labor shortages, skyrocketing costs of materials, and logistics, locked-in price contracts, and extreme weather events, and an overstimulus of this sector by government intervention for political reasons. That's a given, isn't it? That's accepted. I know Alex never mentions that, but we all know that. So let's have a bit of a talk. So another builder sadly has gone under. I don't know what to say. I mean, it sucks, guys. This is the thing, when you're working for people like this, you need to make sure you don't have all your eggs in one basket. The biggest stressor I had years ago was back in the mining boom days, and we were getting about 80% of our revenue from one client, just feeding us so much mining work. They'd be tendering on work. They'd get us to do complete designs, complete master plans, just boom, 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 boom. It was great. Don't get me wrong. I had to grow my firm from one person. I think we got up to 9 at that stage, or even we went nuts. I think we capped out at 12. I don't know. But we grew a lot. But there was so much coming from one sector, and that worried me. It really worried me. One, because, well, we were locked in that sector, and two, because it was one client in that sector, and it wasn't going to last forever. But so I had to work really hard to diversify the sources of revenue that we had and the clients that we had. And it's quite interesting now that all the volumetric modular experience we gained there has now led to education work and all this other stuff. But that's the tough thing. And for me, as an architect, I could go out there. I had to, mingle, meet people, get new opportunities. But if you're there doing the work as a small one-person operation, as a tradie for one of these guys, that's tough. Let me know your advice and suggestions to people working for builders like this, guys. I guess invoice frequently. Make sure you get paid so you don't have a big chunk of money outstanding. Get them to pay for all of the fixtures, fittings, and materials directly. Let me know. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Do all the YouTuber thingamajigs. Check out HeiseBim and Heise Does, and I will update them eventually. I've got a lot to add to either HeiseBim or Heise Does. We've been learning a lot of new, really interesting skills. As always, you can support the channel financially on YouTube or Patreon. You can help us out by using our referral links, buying our pocket squares, or calling us if you need an architect. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next episode of HeiseSays. Bye for now.